Hello! Welcome back to another episode of Helping Others. We are going to learn about Mr. Cherry.
Hi guys! Hello! We are on Helping Others, and I have a special guest today. I think you guys already know who this is. It is Mr. Cherry. So you want to say hello to everybody?
Hello everybody, thanks for watching our video and let me be a part of it.
Yes, so I have, since I've started, I'm Mrs. Newkirk, I'm the school social worker, and I have had a high request to continue my Helping Others videos. Helping Others is just a video that we put on YouTube for classrooms to watch, and it's actually open for anybody. So it's for anybody to watch, and we are going to interview different adults in our building and different students just to get to know them better. We might find out that kids might have something in common with you. We might interview kids later on in the year and they may have something in common with those kids. So as the year continues, if you are interested in being on Helping Others, let your teacher know, and then she'll send me an email and I'll put you on the list. And so let's get started.
All right.
We're going to learn more about Mr. Cherry.
All right, let's go.
You think we know a lot about you?
Some
of us?
I hope. I'm an
After
open
this,
book.
After this, we will.
All
Okay?
right.
All right. So how long have you been at Washington Community Schools?
This is year number 2. I started last year at Lena Dunn, and here we are at Washington Intermediate.
Okay, so that was my next question. So you were here last year?
Yep, last year was my first year. Before that, I was in Pike County at Winslow Elementary.
Winslow? Okay. All right. We're glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. What is your favorite part? We're only like a couple weeks in, but so far at our school, what is something that you enjoy or that you like at our building?
I think my favorite part is, even though it's a little chaotic, arrival and dismissal. Because I get to see more kids during that time, and I love seeing how excited they are, getting out of their cars, greeting me before I see them. That's a big thing that I feel like this week has taken off. Even if I don't have to say hi first, high fives, hugs. They get out of the van, car, whatever, and they're excited to come in, and I love that. And then at the end of the day, I feel like all of our kids are still very happy, and I feel like they had a good day, and I like getting to see them all leave, and and they greet all their teachers and me on their way out, and I love the excitement that I feel like every kid and every staff has every day throughout the building.
Yeah, I think that we have talked a little bit about that week 1 about greeting, and I can
Yes.
tell that kids are listening.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot more hellos in the hallway. I think you get them a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
And it just makes everybody feel welcome.
Yeah, well, then that's our goal. We're all, I was new last year. We've got a lot of, everyone's pretty much new this year. We want everybody to know how excited we are to see them, and I also, I like the feeling that someone's excited to see me too.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you that I like it when kids say something to me first.
Yeah,
they
that's my
don't
favorite.
wait for you to say something.
Yeah.
They'll come up to me and like, "Hi, Mrs. Newkirk," and it's like, "Hello."
That's the best. I really like
Yeah.
it. And I feel like this week especially, we've seen so much more of that. I've noticed that kids have gone out of their way, and I can tell that some kids are nervous about it, but by day 2 or day 3 of it, they're not as nervous.
Yeah. So good job, guys.
Yeah.
That's a compliment from Mr.
Yeah,
Cherry.
absolutely.
Okay, and so the next question is, do you have any kids?
I have one daughter. She'll be 5 in about 3 weeks. Lydia Jan.
Lydia?
Lydia. Yep.
Lydia. Okay, Miss Lydia.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all we've got. Her and the dogs.
Yeah, which your dogs are like your kids, right?
Oh yeah, they were the one Piper. We had her. Well, actually, my wife got her about 3 weeks before we met. So Piper's been a part of the family longer
From
than
the very
I have.
beginning.
Yep, and then we've had Ned about 3 years, and I always forget to talk about Lulu, our cat. We've had her 8 years.
So you got a full house.
Oh yeah, we keep adding to it, I think.
Well, that's very cool. If the kids ever go to your office, you have a picture of your daughter in there.
Yep, I got a picture of my daughter, and I actually have a picture of my daughter and our dog Ned. Haley from Miss Norton's class made scarves for the dogs. So she made one.
Haley?
Yeah, they're awesome. I'll make sure I share the picture out.
Okay.
Of she actually made it with cherry material, and I put it on Ned, our big dog, and Lydia wanted to help me with the picture. So I've got one that I'll try and hang up today.
That is probably
So
the cutest thing I've heard.
We haven't put the other one. She made us 2. She made one for Piper. It hasn't made it to Piper yet because Lydia put it on one of her baby dolls. So eventually it'll make it to Piper. But
Okay,
Ned's
so at
styling
the
now.
end of this video, I'm going to include the picture
I'll send
of
it
your
to you.
dogs
Absolutely.
and that Haley made
Yeah.
for you. She made little.
Yeah, made a nice little scarf that goes through her collar, or goes through the collars.
Cute.
Yeah, I was pretty excited.
That is really cool. So what do you spend? So beyond popular belief, you don't live here.
No.
Even though you're usually the first one here and the last one to leave. But When you are not at school, what's something you enjoy doing?
My favorite thing is going to Lydia's activities. We're in soccer right now, and she's been doing karate for about 2 years. We do t-ball, and I coach her t-ball team. When it's nice, we either go for trips in the Jeep or we swim. We've been in the pool about every day this summer.
Okay.
Spend a lot of time just kind of with her and my wife. When I don't do that, I like to build things and kind of mess around in the barn.
Okay, so you have a lot of family time. You like to be home.
That's number one. Oh yeah, we don't like to leave. We don't leave the property much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet. And you heard you say she plays soccer right now.
Yep, she's in soccer.
I wonder how many kids are playing soccer right now.
I've seen a lot of shirts. And maybe they were past jerseys, but I've seen quite a few.
Yeah.
We had our first game Saturday. She really likes being goalie. It was good to, once she got warmed up, she did really good. And we've got another one, our next game on Saturday. Hopefully the rain holds off.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And so we talk a lot about ACEs. ACEs is part of our Kids at Hope. It's just our belief system. We do our pledges every day, as you know.
Yeah.
We're very, and then every 9 weeks we'll have a different destination we'll travel to. But as we do that, we usually have adults in our life who kind of help us and shape us in what direction we're going. We don't always know what we want to do at 2nd and 3rd and 4th grade right now, but we want you to be able to travel and to think about things when you are older and you have those choices and you get to decide for yourself. But along your path, you have adults that play a really important part. And at Kids at Hope, we call them our ACEs. So there's 4 different ACEs that we have. And I'm going to look at my list. We have an Ace of Hearts, and that's usually like your parent. That's your anchor. There's Ace of Clubs. That's another caring adult that you've had to have known for at least 8 weeks. There's an Ace of Spades, which that's your high expectation adult that you go to and they just expect. If you don't do what you're expected, you just know you're going to disappoint them, and that's what makes you want to do good things. And then we also have our Ace of Diamonds, and that's where an adult gives you the opportunities to succeed. A lot of times we see like coaches so in your life when you were a child, do you have a certain ace that kind of sticks out to you?
I've got a couple. My number one is obviously my mom. It was
Mrs. Cherry
Mrs.
that
Cherry.
we know very well in our building.
She tried to retire, but we call her when we need her.
So she would be your Ace of Hearts?
Oh yeah, she was Ace of Hearts. And I could probably put her for all of them because she had to wear many hats.
Yeah.
Just being me and her. Well, my other family, but just me and her primarily, and so she did a lot.
She raised
was
you.
Yes. So and she helped me get here obviously. So she's definitely my Ace of Hearts. I think more and more on my Ace of Spades. I had a football coach who definitely took me under his wing, and when I was younger, I suffered from just terrible anxiety. I didn't like crowds. Still don't like crowds, but that's just because I'm old. But I didn't like crowds. Even football was my favorite thing, and that was when I got to be me. But there for a while, I didn't like getting out of the car to go to football practice. And Mom's big thing was go find Coach Kramer. When you see him, he'll say a joke. He'll make you feel better. Go see him as soon as you get there. You'll feel fine. And that was
your comfort.
Yeah, and it was, so I did that, and as I got older one day, I just realized I was tired of it, and I kind of snapped out of it, and I realized that I wasn't the only kid that felt that way. So my my goal was to be the Coach Kramer. If you walk into a room and you're not real happy, I want you to feel better seeing me. So that's kind of my guiding light.
I think you do that here
that's my goal.
At Washington Intermediate.
That's my goal. And I try it everywhere, because I'm okay with new things. I've always been a fan of change, and I don't see things as a change. I look for improvements, but not everyone's like that. So I want to make sure that if someone's struggling, they see me, and at least for a second, they feel comforted.
Okay, so you have 2 aces that you shared with us, and thank you for sharing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes it's hard to look back and think, but I appreciate that. All right, this is our fun question. What's your dream job?
That's tough.
Do you have one? I didn't ask him this before.
Honestly, I think I'm kind of living it. This was, when I knew I wanted to be a teacher at a pretty young age, or at least thought that's what I wanted to do. I always felt like I wanted to. I'm very competitive, and I thought, my mom was an administrator for a little bit. I want to do that. I want to try and do it better, and so that was kind of always my goal. Dream job would honestly probably be a zookeeper. Because I love elephants. I don't like the idea, I don't like animals being caged up, but I like the rescue zoos, and we've been reading a lot about that. Lydia and I and my wife like to go to different zoos, and I feel like if I got to just do it all over, live in a dream, I think I would be the zookeeper in charge of the elephants.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's my favorite. We all have our favorite animal, and the elephants are mine.
So you are our zookeeper at
Washington. I guess. Yeah, we can look at it that way.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't get to wear shorts though.
Yeah, no. And you gotta wear your tie.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's a good fact that we learned about you.
Yeah,
a zookeeper.
I absolutely love elephants. It's super weird. I respect.
It's not weird. It's interesting.
I respect how they're obviously the strongest and most powerful animal, but they're also not the most aggressive. They just do their own thing, and they're not going to bother you if you don't bother them. And they're in those not small cages, but they're in those walls. And if they decided to go, there's no one that could stop them. But they just are very peaceful, and because they can be, but they don't have to be. They could run the whole show if they wanted to.
I like that.
I've always respected that.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about is an SEL skill. So social emotional learning is a lot of what I do. I'll be in your classrooms once a month, and I will be talking about different skills. But while we watch these videos, at the end I'll be sharing something different that we could do, and this is an activity that you should do with your class. So the first one I'm going to start out with is a favorite. It's an in my control and out of my control. A lot of times I draw kind of like a donut. There's a big circle and then there's a small circle inside. Super easy, doesn't have to be beautiful. So the in your control is something that you can control. What's something that you can control, Mr. Cherry?
My attitude, and I choose to be positive, so I feel like I can always control my attitude, my positivity, regardless of the situation. I feel like no matter what's going on, that's the one thing that
is in
I'm
your
always
control.
In control. It's a choice, and even when things are hectic or things aren't great, I have the choice to react positively and put my attitude in the right direction, or I can let it affect me negatively.
Okay. What is one thing that is out of your control? I know, like, as students, we think like everything's out of their control. And there are some things that are out of your control. There's things that are out of our control as adults. What's something that's out of your control?
Kind of the exact opposite. Everybody else's attitude and positivity. I can't how other people react to a situation or deal with a situation or feel about things. I can't control that, even if I disagree with it. All I can control is how I react to it, and hope that sets an example and helps them. And I try to set the tone, obviously. But it's been something that's been hard for me growing up to not why I feel this way. I've been able to control.
You want everybody else to see
Why can't
that.
everyone else? And I've just learned as I've gotten older that we all have our own perspective, and I need to respect that, and again, not let it affect mine.
I like that. So that's a task we have for your class. I want you to think of every student, whether you do this in a whole group and you guys talk about it, or you write it, or you draw it, but I even want the teachers to participate. I want you to share 2 things that are in your control and 2 things that are out of your control. All right? I think we can do that. I know I always share on out of my control. I cannot control what time school starts. I wish it would be later, because I like later starts, but that's out of my control, right?
Yeah.
And I would agree that something that's in my control would definitely be my attitude. Or the weather is out of your control.
Yeah.
Those are some other examples. But how I respond to it raining, I can do something else, right? I can find something indoors.
A backup plan.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy this activity and you've learned a little bit more about Mr. Cherry.
Thank you for having me.
See you next time. Bye, guys.
That was so fun. Thank you so much, Mr. Cherry, for letting us interview you. Have a good week.